Hi, I'm AJ Marks.
And I'm Megan Siliginto.
And this is the podcast where we say gay rights.
Where we just say gay rights.
Gay rights.
Gay rights.
There you go.
Oh, sure. Oh, don't you know? This is American Idiots Abroad.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to American Idiots Abroad.
AJ, how do you like your ding-dongs and ho-hos?
Megan, have you ever tasted a spotted dick?
AJ, how many licks does it take to get to the center of a blow pop?
Are these just like sex puns?
I'm afraid not.
I don't believe you. On this podcast, we discover what makes us uniquely American by analyzing the differences, and similarities between the U.S. and the U.K. This time with guests from both the U.S. and the U.K. We're cultured.
Woo!
We said culture, honey.
Look at us. Got one of each.
Unless they're lying to us.
Always a possibility. We're constantly being lied to, actually.
So cultured.
So I first moved from San Jose, California to Orange County, California.
Brag
and
about
then decided to take the random plunge that, most kids take and move to Liverpool, UK.
Brag about it.
In 2014.
Brag about it.
So been here for a while now. And fuck off. And then now I finally moved to Manchester earlier this year. So just a bay bitch, just making music and podcasts, all while trying my best to preserve my accent.
And I moved from Massachusetts to England a whole presidential term ago.
So what was that, like 45 years ago? Feels like,
Yeah, it feels like it, but it was only 4 years ago for all the Brits and or international guests that don't keep track on American politics.
Today we have two guests, a Brit and an American. Very exciting.
Yeah, you may recognize them from their videos for Buzzfeed UK. It's Jeff Thurm and Tom Alex Helm.
Hey, guys.
Hey, thank you for having us.
Thank you so much.
I like you guys being excited about your own introduction. That's wonderful to hear.
Yes.
It's so nice to be the majority on this, 3 Americans versus 1 Brit. I can't wait to finally win all of the debates.
Right?
Yeah, are you used to it being the other way around?
Yes.
Oh, I'm always wrong. I'm always the one that's wrong. I'm always the one that has to change my language. So I'm so ready for Tom to have to finally be that person.
100%.
You're always the one who's told you were wrong.
Exactly.
Yes. Big difference.
But we are that group of outcasts. We are that group. Sorry, Tom. I feel like we're just kind of...
No, you know what? I'm just going to let you guys talk because I feel like that's the way it's going to be. No, I'm just kidding. No, you know what? The main thing is for me is that I honestly take on accents like a sponge. So I think by the end of this, I'm going to be like, hey, so this has been so great.
I look forward to that. I look forward to putting them side by side.
I look forward to hearing which one which accent you put on. Is it going to be the Californian or the Boston?
I mean, all 3 of them sound the same to me, to be honest. So
Fair.
Tom, where are you from in the UK?
So I am from Newcastle upon Tyne, which is a city at the very north of England. Yeah.
No, we know where it is, but like, I just, you don't have like as much of the accent.
No.
So I never really had that much of like that like proper thick like Geordie accent that you hear on Geordie Shore. Like that does exist.
Ooh, that was good.
Yeah, well, it should be. I lived there for like 20 years.
True.
The tune.
I never really had it. It comes out more maybe when I'm drunk or angry, but in general, I think it's a bit more kind of like neutral, I suppose. But then I moved down to London in 2014.
Oh, right.
Nice.
Yeah.
We both did something in 2014. That was very exciting. Look at us.
Yeah.
Jeff, where are you from?
I'm originally from Potomac, Maryland, just outside of D.C. Lived in L.A. for a while, and then I moved here, just before Trump was brought into office as well. Just after the election, before he actually stepped into office.
Oh, wow.
So, moved here officially January 2017, and time has flown.
I mean, you made the great escape. Congrats.
Wow. Okay, so we've been kind of here the same amount of time. So
Yes.
now I have a bone to pick with you.
Uh-oh.
Because Megan just sent me a video of you guys switching diets for 24 hours.
Yes.
The one you did for BuzzFeed. So she just sent it to me right before we started recording this. You've been here as long as I have, and you just decided to drink Ribena.
Oh, God.
Right
I should
out of
have had
Oh, Jeff, here we go.
I should have had my agent put something in the clause that said I'm allowed to hang up the phone if there's anything about Ribena on this call. This Ribena Gate is going to be the death of me.
Yes.
I honestly have never. First of all, I don't have an agent, so that was just a joke. Anyone listening, I'm not that obnoxious. I just have to put that out there because the haters will come.
No, manifest the agent.
Yeah, the secret.
Yeah.
No, I've never had Ribena. It's not something that I like. I don't even know when people would drink it. So that was truly like an honest, genuine mistake. I'd heard of it before, but I also knew that you could drink some from the bottle. And like, when I looked all around the bottle and there was nothing about adding water. When I finally scanned it enough, there's a little thing that says like, portion size is like this much for this much water is this many portions. But
wait, so you checked the bottle because you thought this might need water and you still were just like, nah.
Tom did you dirty.
Well, okay, so I would just like to provide some context here. So yeah, this video is where we swap diets for a day or whatever, but I don't think Jeff got in touch with me about the fact he was like, I can't believe you were supposed to add water until maybe like 6 or 7 that day. So like, I don't know how many times you had drank it until one of our colleagues got in touch and said, oh, add more water next time. And he was like, more water? Like, I had no idea you're supposed to add water at all. So I think Jeff thought I was trying to stitch him up. But honestly, I just didn't even think I had to say.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't have those things in America, really. So to be fair.
Right. The closest thing we have is like a frozen, like lemonade thing or that you have to like melt in water, or like a powder, like a Tang.
Yeah.
Or like Kool-Aid or something, right?
So, yeah, now that we've discussed Ribena Gate, I'm very sorry, Jeff. You were very, very polite, saying that, it's very thick consistency, but, very, very polite assessment. So hopefully this time we'll get into some things where you can school Tom on some stuff.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah, speaking of food and sweet things, is Ribena sweet? I don't know.
Nice segue.
But,
yes, it is.
Hot take, Ribena is gross.
Yeah, very.
Just
ooh.
Whoa.
It's a bold way to start out the episode.
Whoa, well, that's another episode. Yeah.
Yeah. So we're going to be talking today with you guys about sweets and desserts.
Sweet.
Amazing.
Yes. So just as a kind of little disclaimer for anyone listening and for the two of you, AJ is actually allergic to chocolate.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yes, I am. Thank you for reminding me.
Oh, you poor thing.
I know. So anything that we discuss about chocolate, we'll just have to kind of describe to AJ in a way. I don't even know, AJ. Do you like the smell of chocolate?
No,
like, is there?
I absolutely hate it.
Oh,
I
wow,
hate the
okay.
smell of chocolate.
Oh, wow.
Although I remember that I used to like Kit Kats as a kid before I learned that that's why I was vomiting.
Oh, yeah, right.
But I do still like the smell of Kit Kats.
Kit Kats are great.
Yeah.
Something about the smell of Kit Kats. Like, chocolate is repulsive, but Kit Kats can stay.
That's interesting. Obviously, there's some kind of psychological distancing there that you just think it's awful. It's how I feel about Sambuca. Like, if you throw something up enough times, you just don't want to have it anymore.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yes. That's me with actually most alcohols now. Yeah.
Kit Kats are the main American candy that comes to mind when I think of candies that taste different from there to here. Like,
really?
Snickers taste the same, M&Ms taste the same, but Kit Kats are made with different chocolate. So an American Kit Kat and a British Kit Kat taste different. So I wonder if they would smell different to you.
Why? What's the difference?
Yeah, how so?
Just the type of chocolate they use. Like, obviously the insides are the same. It's the same like crunchy. What I don't even know what it is.
Little wafer bar thing. Yeah.
Yeah, the wafer bar, that's all the same, but the chocolate coating on the outside tastes different.
What?
Do they still have those same like percussive ads for Kit Kats? Where they like really like the sound of breaking a Kit Kat and they're just like all obsessed with it.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
They like make a little beat out of it.
Yeah, break me off a piece of that Kit Kat bar.
Is that like a UK thing too?
So here, the tagline, I think they say it's like, have a break, have a Kit Kat. And it's all about people like relaxing. Like the lady in the advert will like relax into her chair and it'll be the little snap of the Kit Kat and it'll be have a break. And that's the
Actually, I have seen that. You're right. Yeah, in the US, they're a little bit more like percussive with it. They're like someone's like, tapping on their desk with a pencil.
Right.
And
a bald eagle flows into shot and drops it in.
Yeah. Everything that we do is just a little bit heightened. It's just a bit more extra,
I get it.
It's just a thing that we like to do.
America's just the extra country.
Yes, we
it's
are.
the extra sister. So,
But one thing that I found interesting is that nobody here says candy. Like I've not met a person that says candy. It's always sweets.
I say candy.
So to me, candy is a very specific thing.
Okay.
I would say that candy is like maybe it's kind of like translucent or like see-through, like hard boiled, like sweets.
Oh.
Like I would say that if anything was candy, I'd say it was that. But people describing chocolate as candy is like really weird to me. That's jarring and wrong.
See, I don't think chocolate's candy. Chocolate is chocolate.
that's fair. That's a fair take.
What? You wouldn't even call it candy?
I think chocolate is chocolate. Well, it depends. I wouldn't really call Snickers a can. I don't know. Now I'm confused. But
It is technically a candy bar.
maybe that's what I would call it, a candy bar. But this is the cookies and biscuits debate all over again. Some sweets are candies, but not all candies are sweets, just like biscuits and cookies.
Wait, what?
Like every dessert is a pudding, but not every pudding. No, every pudding is a dessert, but not every dessert is a pudding.
Yeah.
It's like the same thing.
It's hurting my brain.
So in this country, a pudding doesn't just mean... this is going to be very complicated.
Oh, so it's like a subcategory, like a rectangle and a square. A square is a rectangle, but a rectangle is not a square inherently.
Okay, I get that.
Yes, because like to us, pudding are those like little, those cups of pudding or like...
Oh, right.
Yeah, it's a very specific type of thing.
Yeah.
But here, a pudding is like sticky toffee pudding.
Well, this is also depending on where you are in the country. So like up north, I would say that everything that is a dessert could also be referred to as a pudding. That's like a super northern type thing. And also probably the other way around as well, to be honest, like what you're gonna have for pudding.
Yeah.
But I know that you guys, you were saying that pudding is like, I don't know, like Swiss Miss or something. Is that the right thing, or is that something different?
What's Swiss Miss?
No, Swiss Miss is is a hot chocolate thing.
Oh, yes. Now I can picture it. Yeah, my sisters love that. So is that a British thing, or is that...
That's an American thing.
No, but I've had that in the States. I think they have a brand of pudding that I did have when I was in New York, and I got so excited about it. It's like, oh, pudding, what does that mean? It was just like mousse, and I was like, oh, okay. Like,
Yes. Okay,
it's
so...
like a little cup of custard.
Exactly. What we constitute as pudding, and like, okay, you two Americans, tell me if you think this is true.
As if you're not American.
No, exactly. I just need some backup here. So if an American says, I want pudding, that means specifically the like type of dessert that is like a mousse consistency, but a little bit, maybe more yogurty in its consistency.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. But then here, that's basically never what they mean when they say pudding.
Correct.
If someone said, I want pudding, you would like get them the dessert menu and have you'd be none the wiser, really.
Yes.
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
And that's so confusing to me because I try to explain what pudding is to a Brit and it just doesn't compute.
No, we don't have it.
It's so weird.
We have something similar-ish, I think, either like custard, if you just wanted to eat that by itself, I suppose, or we do also have Angel Delight, which I don't know if you're familiar with. This is like powdered stuff that you whisk and mix with milk, and it comes in like similar flavors like chocolate, butterscotch, banana, so maybe that would be like comparable.
Ooh, I don't know.
It's weird.
I'd like to know. I miss pudding.
50 pence a sachet. You can't really go wrong, to be honest.
Ooh, okay. Well, AJ, write that down. We have some homework to do.
What about Jammy Dodgers? What are those?
Oh my God, I love Jammy Dodgers. Jeff, have you had a Jammy Dodger before?
I haven't. Jammy Dodger used to be the name of a conference room in our old office building, and that's the only reason I know what it is. But it's probably one of the most ridiculous names of a cake or a dessert or whatever the hell it is that I've ever heard.
It's a biscuit, just to start off with. It's like two circular shortbreads like slammed together with like sort of a very thick jam in between. And they are a childhood staple for a Brit, I would say.
Interesting.
Tom, could you explain to our listeners what a biscuit is for those that might not be British?
Biscuit is what I think American people refer to as a cookie, but... no, hang on, that's wrong. I've already got it wrong. Let me think.
It's hard.
A biscuit is like a like short crust, like cookie like thing, but then what you guys all call cookies is like the collective noun for what we call biscuits. But then what we call cookies are like those very specific, like chewy chocolate chip things. Everything else is a biscuit. And what you call biscuits, those like buttery scone things, literally don't even exist here.
No, they don't.
But yeah, a biscuit is something that you'd like dunk in a cup of tea, although you probably wouldn't do that.
Tea, not coffee?
It would be tea, 100%. Of course, you know.
Interesting. Is like the Jammy Dodger, is that like a Milano cookie?
What's a Milano cookie?
Oh.
Yeah, we're going to need some like intersectional like American and British knowledge here. So
Yes.
paging Megan and Thurm. But is it like a Milano cookie, but instead of chocolate, it's jam?
Kind of. But it's thicker jam. Tom, are Jammy Dodgers rectangular or circular?
They're circular.
But they're bigger than an Oreo. It's like a decently...
Yeah, definitely bigger than an Oreo. More the size of, well, I'm just going to say the name of another British biscuit you don't know. So, size of a digestive, maybe the size of a hobnob.
Yeah,
You know?
digestives are fucking good.
Hobnob. That would have been good for the intro.
So question, are Jammy Dodger and Digestive, are those all brand names or are those the name of the cookie? So like do multiple brands, like just Mondelez and Little Brand and this brand all make a Digestive, or is it like the Kleenex tissue debate?
Wow, what a fabulous question, and one I'd be happy to field. So like a digestive biscuit is the name of the biscuit, as is Hobnob, both of which are made by the parent brand McVitie's.
Got it.
Shout out McVitie's.
But you'd never say I'm having a McVitie's. That just doesn't happen.
Right.
Interesting.
I have a bone to pick with digestives a little bit because they are not the superior British biscuit in my mind.
Hold on, before you go on to what you think it is, I have a bone to pick with digestives because it sounds like something you take when you have heartburn.
Yes. Okay, let's start there. Okay, Jeff, you're absolutely correct.
Yes.
It sounds horrible.
It is not an appealing thing.
Digestive sounds like it's something that like Jamie Lee Curtis is going to advertise, you know, like, yeah, it's just another like digestion fiber one bar situation. Like it's going to really clean out my system.
Yeah, exactly.
Is what it sounds like to me.
Yeah, like it's loaded with prunes.
Yeah, they just aren't the superior British biscuit. In my opinion, sorry, AJ, you can never know.
My opinion's valid. It's fine.
Yeah, it's fine. Chocolate covered hobnobs are my crack.
A wonderful choice.
Yes.
A wonderful choice.
Thank you.
That just sounds so dirty.
A chocolate-covered hobnob.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's probably a large part of it. If you've ever watched an episode of Bake Off, you know that it's basically like fueled not only by the people that are on it, but by the innuendos that they spout on a 5-minute basis.
Yes.
5-minute basis.
Yeah, that's the official term.
Okay.
No, I do think that part of the popularity that chocolate hobnobs have is to do with that hilarious name.
Oh, is it?
Interesting.
And also because they're like crack.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, whenever I see them, I'm like, funny.
I think that's just like the British condition is like slightly laughing at things that are slightly sexual.
I don't think I've ever had a hobnob, but I just Googled it and they look exactly like digestives. So what's going on here?
What?
Okay, so
Okay, hold on.
They're the same size. They're both circular. They're covered in chocolate. They just look more oatmeal-y than...
yes.
That's the main difference. A digestive is more like kind of like a smooth kind of like thing that like kind of cracks in half, whereas a hobnob is more like kind of like wood chip mulch that you'd find in like a play park.
Wait, are digestives not like shortbready?
No.
Kind of, but drier.
Yeah.
I'm so lost.
And then this just brought up a picture of a rich tea biscuit, and the rich tea biscuit is also circular, the same size, with chocolate on the bottom. So...
Okay, we never said we were like super creative with the thing, and just like, you know, they just taste slightly different.
I will say, I think like, obviously we're being a bit harsh, but they are all really, really good. And although similar, it's like there's something fun about having this many different types of things.
Yeah.
It's almost like Girl Scout cookies. It's like these are the types of things that would come out for us every, once a year, and you get really, really excited and you get really like defensive over which Girl Scout cookie you think is the best. But it's almost like they have them all year round.
That's very true, actually.
Speaking of Girl Scout cookies, Brits don't do that, right?
No, not at all.
No, Brits don't have Girl Scouts.
Brits don't have Girl Scouts and therefore don't have Girl Scout cookies. And I'm just going to pay my condolences.
Yeah, and therefore a moment of silence.
It's funny, like, for something that's so not a thing here, like, I don't think we even have Girl Scouts. There are equivalent things like guides and things like that, which are sort of like those kind of like youth groups. But they don't sell biscuits. It's like, maybe they're like... What do they do? like braid rope or something. I'm not sure.
Yeah, you guys are really missing out on this like biscuit economy that you could be having.
Can you explain something to me though with these Girl Scout cookies? So you're telling me that nationwide, like in every state, all organizations of Girl Scouts will go out and sell this like one particular kind of brand of biscuits, cookies?
Yes.
They're there to scam you, but to make it delightful.
Yes.
And that is the only way that you're able to obtain these cookies.
They'll go door to door.
The Girl Scouts will like set up in front of grocery stores sometimes. People, like parents, will bring the order forms into the office. I did several like office order forms before. But my favorite Girl Scouts, the most smart businesswoman I've ever seen, was a few years ago when weed was first legalized in the U.S.
Oh, no.
Girl Scouts were setting up Girl Scout cookie stations outside of these weed shops. So people were going in, buying weed, and then getting their munchies right after. It was so brilliant.
That's really
That's
clever.
so good.
Yeah, don't rob a girl's introduction to capitalism.
Exactly. You do. That's the whole point, isn't it?
I can't believe Britain doesn't have that available.
No, not a thing. If someone comes to your door, I mean, like most of the time people probably just wouldn't answer. Well, actually, no, there's trick or treat. I guess that is like the closest thing I can think of that's similar in this kind of like going around
There's
the
trick or
houses
treat here?
type thing. Yeah.
Like kind of.
Although to be fair, like kind of like the amount of I remember when I was trick or treating as a kid, there was a lot of like, here's some grapes, or like I'm busy teaching piano. Here's a single after 8. You know.
Oh no.
It just depends, I suppose.
Yeah, Halloween is relatively new here.
Yeah, I mean, we definitely don't do it to the degree with which I understand Americans do it. Like, I know it's like a massive thing, but it's kind of like diet Halloween compared to what you guys do, I think.
Sweethearts. Do Brits do that here?
What are sweethearts? Are they like, okay, because we have something similar called love hearts. I'm thinking it's the same thing where they're like little sherbety circular sweets that say like, I choose you and stuff like that on them. Is that what you mean?
Yes.
Yeah.
But they taste kind of like chalk.
Yeah.
But like delicious chalk. This is my favorite candy of all time. If I had to make a list of my favorite sweets of all time,
Dude.
this would be number 1.
What?
The heart things?
Candy hearts?
Yeah. The chalky heart things.
Are you okay?
God, this chocolate allergy is really affecting you in so many ways.
Yeah. You know, honestly, before we started this podcast, I didn't know this. I would have really second guessed doing this podcast with you, AJ, if you had told me this.
Yeah, I am not to be trusted because that's my taste.
Yeah,
but
oh my
no, I
God.
just really like the taste of...
Chalk.
A chalk, yeah, a bowl of talc. Nice.
Are you the youngest of like 10 brothers or something?
No. I am the oldest of 2 sisters.
I know what Jeff's going to say.
Wow.
Oldest of 2 sisters and a brother, I guess, if I'm including myself.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Because a lot of times I find the youngest sibling to a lot likes the shitty candy because their older siblings eat all the good flavors, so they just get used to having it. They have to like...
That's what my dad was for.
Right.
Right.
I would come home from Halloween and he would take all of my chocolate for obvious reasons. But then I learned my introduction to capitalism was charging him for the chocolate.
Ooh, well done.
After a certain period of time. So I would charge him for food and I would sell off all my candy.
Nice.
I'm sorry. I'm still just shaken by this, that being your number 1 favorite candy of all time. That's like...
Okay, so in my defense, if you have the right box, if it's the right company making it and they don't do all the new stuff that they're doing, because now all you can find is like the knockoff brands. If you have the right, like the actual Sweethearts brand, it's so good. And if you have the other ones, they can get really stale. They can taste really like chewy and weird and sweet. You want the original brand.
This is not a visual
I'm
medium.
dying on this hill.
But for everyone that can't see my face right now, my mouth is wide open. This is...
Yeah, that is insane. It's like, you know, like you can get those like edible necklaces that maybe they'll throw out at like some event or something like
no,
that.
No, none of those.
It tastes
Dude, it's
the
the same
same to
thing.
me, though.
It's literally the same thing.
Yeah, they're the exact same.
No, it's not. It's not. You guys are clearly having the knockoff brands of Sweethearts.
All right, I'll take your word for it.
I'll have to get some imported.
Don't take his word for it. Cakes here aren't always cakes as we would describe it in the US.
True.
Like an Eccles cake.
Yes, exactly. Jeff, since you're in the US currently, maybe we've like grown a little bit and have discovered like Welsh cakes or something. But when we say cake in the US, generally,
You can tell Megan hasn't been there for a while.
I know. Generally, we just have the one. It's just the one type. It's just like your birthday cake. Like, that's what we think about.
Yeah, exactly. A slice of cake is basically the same no matter where you go.
Yeah.
Different types of cake, obviously. Chocolate,
Red velvet,
vanilla, whatever. You guys said Eccles cake. I have no idea what that is.
You've never heard of a Welsh cake?
I have never heard of a Welsh cake.
An Eccles cake or a Welsh cake, no.
Right.
I would say that maybe the word cake in like British English is kind of just used interchangeably with any kind of like doughy cooked thing. So you could have like a Welsh cake or an Eccles cake, which I think has like fruit in it and is closer to sort of like a scone or scone.
Yeah.
Scone or scone.
Yeah. Scone debate.
Yeah, I'm from up north, so it's scone to me. But honestly, that's a whole nother thing. And then like you have stuff like tea cakes, which is just bread essentially with fruit in it. So yeah, that's true. I'd never thought of that. But if you said cake, I'd know what you meant.
Yeah, I just remember like someone offering me an Eccles cake and then being presented it and being very confused, but like also obviously very grateful, but just being like, okay, yeah, I butter this? Okay, I guess that's what you do with cake.
Butter or cake?
Yeah. It's a whole thing.
I'm a pass.
They're so good, actually.
I love Eccles cakes. Kind of like a mince pie with like crunchy sugar on top. Oof.
And I just think all these different types of like quote unquote cakes are kind of in a similar vein, like you were saying, to like a scone. It's more of that kind of traditional British flavor palette of mildly sweet, but not too in your face.
Yeah.
And like dried fruits and stuff.
To be fair, a lot of the things which kind of like weathers through to this day is still very kind of like Henry VIII might have made it,
Yeah.
you know, very kind of like 16th century kind of like cookbook type thing. We just don't like updating stuff, apparently.
No.
This is one of my least favorite terms between the US and the UK differences. I don't mind sprinkles versus jimmies. I think even in the US, we have our own differences. Some people call it sprinkles, some call it jimmies. The name that makes zero sense to me is calling what you put on top of an ice cream hundreds and thousands.
Yeah.
Not where I thought you were going with this.
I don't understand. First of all, the number hundreds and thousands makes it seem like there would be hundreds and thousands of that thing on it. Second of all, like, okay, I get that there's going to be differences. I get that Americans oversimplify things that Brits do, and Brits, you know, we have our differences. I fully understand that. Hundreds of thousands is such a long way to ask for a topping on an ice cream.
Yes.
I just don't understand it. And then the definition of hundreds of thousands, like I don't even know what
You
else to
can't
say.
even finish your sentence. You're so angry about it.
I can't.
Yeah, but I totally get what Jeff's saying, because if I wanted to request like chocolate sprinkles, they would be chocolate hundreds and thousands. And honestly, by the time you finish saying that, your ice cream's half melted.
That's so weird.
Yeah.
You know, actually, I've never heard of that. Hundreds and thousands? You're absolutely right. That's such a mouthful. And it's like way too confusing. Just say sprinkles.
Sprinkles is superior.
It's telling you the action.
I think we've come to a consensus.
I'm willing to concede on that.
Nice.
But get this, we've got hundreds and thousands, and then there's an additional suite that's called millions. Like, where do we stop? You know?
Exactly.
Oh, that's good.
This country, you don't have graham crackers.
No crime.
They're such a basic thing for us.
I don't think that they're missing out by not having graham crackers. I think, yes, for s'mores, maybe they're missing out, but I think it doesn't bother me that the UK doesn't have graham crackers personally. Does it bother you?
Yes, and it bothers me that you said that because no, like the base of a cheesecake is nothing without
Digestives.
No.
I'm sorry.
It can't be a digestive.
Except how? Well, then how come it is?
No, it has to be a graham cracker in my world.
Kind of upset that they don't have it here.
With those crackers, like, I actually saw it written down before I ever heard anyone say it, and I was like, what are graham crackers? Because that's how that looks like to me.
Yes.
So, like, yeah, the whole thing's just confusing.
Yeah, we just kind of skate over the name.
Yeah.
Just one syllable.
Graham.
But it's really difficult to make s'mores here. I've never made my British friends s'mores because it's also really difficult to find marshmallows.
Or fire.
Yeah, or fire.
Where do you find a fire in the UK?
An open fire pit, honestly.
Yeah.
Is it just me, or I can never find marshmallows in this country? Whereas like in the US, they're at every grocery store.
I mean, the idea of a s'more is so American, like bonfire, especially in California, like beach bonfire style.
Yes.
So I think s'mores is definitely a great American tradition that the Brits unfortunately don't have. But yeah, I'm not really shopping for marshmallows much. So sorry, I can't really say either way.
See, it's not like I'm like shopping for them specifically. You know, I'm not just like out, marshmallow hunting for my weekend. But like if I'm going to go to a beach on a very rare occasion or something, I might want to have my friends experience that with me, and I can't.
I hear you.
Because I don't know where to buy them.
Tom, have you ever had a s'more?
No, never.
Do you know what it is?
Oh, I know that it's this marshmallow inside these crackers, and then somehow it's like cooked or melted or something.
Do you want to guess?
That's my guess. Honestly, so I think it's cracker, and then I know, maybe I do know. Is it like you roast the marshmallow so it goes like soft, and then that goes in between like a sort of sandwich? Is that what it is?
Yes.
And then what else is introduced? There's another element.
You're missing one very important ingredient.
Yes.
One that I always skip out on.
Love?
Whoa.
I mean, yes.
No.
But
I'm just kidding.
Something
AJ.
that I skip out on.
I'm sure you include that every time. I don't know, chocolate?
Yeah.
Oh, I get it. Oh, I see. Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
Makes sense.
No, it was love. It was love. No, actually, you know what sounds so gross? But I'm just gonna throw it out there. I put my second favorite sweet of all time on s'mores instead of chocolate. It's Sour Patch Watermelon. For some reason, it's so good.
Okay, AJ, people who listen to this podcast are going to stop listening to this podcast.
You just melt some Sour Patch Watermelon and you put it on some marshmallow between some graham crackers. It's delicious.
That sounds absolutely insane.
I'm thinking I would try that. I would be scared to try it, but I would try it.
I respect that.
Are they the sour watermelons?
Sour Patch Watermelon, yeah.
Specifically watermelon.
But anything watermelon or cherry, anything sour, put that on a s'more. Try it out.
Are they called Sour Patch Kids? Why are they called kids?
Because they're little kids.
I don't get it. Oh.
But if you have the watermelon, it's just Sour Patch Watermelon.
Oh,
I see. So they're shaped like little people.
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah, but they're not like people. They're kind of like little characters.
They're like stick figures, kind of.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Okay, we have like jelly babies, which I suppose is maybe similar.
Oh, interesting. Anyway, thank you both so much for joining us. We've really, really been informed quite a lot about things, especially me with AJ's taste buds. I don't think we could have done it without both of you, so thank you.
Honestly, thank you so much. And honestly, this is the great thing about these like American Brit like conversations where you compare things. Because honestly, I feel like we've scratched the surface. Like you can go on and on and on, and that's the most fabulous thing about it.
There is so much we didn't touch on.
Yeah.
Honestly, and I now just want to go have some cake.
You guys make videos. I'm sure you make other content for BuzzFeed UK, but we found you through your American and Brit videos, American versus Brit. They're like a great visual kind of sister to this audio only podcast. So if you like seeing pretty people doing things instead of just hearing pretty people doing things, I would watch their BuzzFeed videos.
Love that.
Oh my God, stop. AJ, what are you like?
That was just my way of complimenting myself.
Everyone's blushing.
My very roundabout way.
I like that.
There's so much in this UK versus US world. And Tom and I have just, loved kind of exploring it all and fighting with each other. Our newest kind of spin-off of all of it was, instead of talking about foods, why don't we actually swap foods? So as we mentioned earlier, we swapped diets for a day, and we have a few more of those diet swaps coming up. A lot of really fun UK, US stuff. So just doing this on the podcast too, and kind of exploring even a new element and even more things, and also having more Americans to back me up, so I'm not the wrong one all the time, has been really fun. So thank you.
Good.
Yeah, it was about time you had that opportunity, I think.
It's the one time I get it.
Yeah.
Living here, it's kind of like assumed that you're always just going to be called the wrong one.
Yeah. It's a constant battle.
Yeah.
But so if anyone wants to find you two, lurk you two, where can they find you?
Asking for a friend.
So yeah, if you guys want to find us online, you can find me on Instagram at _Jeff_Thurm_. Tom?
And me, I am Tom Alex Helm on everything, Instagram, Twitter. And if you'd like to keep up with me and Jeff's Brit vs. Americans antics, you can find us on Buzzfeed UK, on YouTube, Instagram, and all the rest of it.
Amazing.
And so you can find Megan at I Am Sola Music, and that is on Instagram, that is on Twitter, that is on Facebook. You can check out her new song called Highs and Lows, as the pod already knows from the last episode. She's really excited about this one.
Oh my God, AJ, you know so much about me. Thank you. Now I feel bad for teasing you so much. Well, if you want to find AJ, you can find him at AJ Marks Official on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram, on Spotify.
Yeah, and Megan, you just dropped a music video for Highs and Lows, so let's go out on that song. This is Highs and Lows by Sola.
It's in our power, we talk 10 hours, but we keep standing still. So what the fuck am I supposed to do with potential? Yeah. Give me something stimulating when you're with me, hesitating. Don't you worry, I am by your side. Take me, I'm in it for the ride, I'm in it for the highs and lows. Baby, I'm Bonnie, your kite, I'm in it for the highs and lows. I don't really wanna let go, so I throw myself into the unknown. Yeah. Baby, I'm Bonnie, your kite, I'm in it for the highs and lows. You see right through